so funny because, as I try to practice to look in this direction,
I still do it.
Yeah, I try to practice, and then I have a bad habit of looking over here when I wish I'd stop doing that because I wish I was more this direction because it looks like I'm looking in your direction when I do that. So I try to tell myself, look at a Quentin Tarantino where it looks like I'm looking over towards you. But over here, it's like he's lost in space again.
Over there looking like Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, shit, we did start recording. Oh, here we go. And action.
Take two.
Take two. Take two. Well, hello, everyone. It's me, Chris. How are you doing out there?
Hey, guys.
So random.
I'm Scott. What's up, everybody? I'm joined tonight by Jordy.
Jody, yeah.
Jordy LaForge.
Jordy. And he also did the PBS thing with books.
You know, you know where I always see that motherfucker is, wasn't he the Reading Rainbow dude?
That's it. They're Reading Rainbow.
Fucking Reading
and
Rainbow.
And for some reason, I don't even have that song stuck in my head. I have another one stuck in. Oh, you know, my name is Simon. Got to have a little bit of a British accent in there with it because I'm trying to remember. It had something to do with PBS. Oh, you know, my name is Simon. And blah, 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 blah. I don't fuck it. Well, anyways, hello, everyone. I hope you're doing so fucking great out in the month of September so far. We recently celebrated Labor Day weekend, Chris's mother's birthday, and we already surpassed National Dog Day. I'm sure there's been other national. I probably passed up. It's National Irish Whiskey Day.
Every day.
And I forgot to share it. I'll do it now. Celebrate.
Every day's dog day, at least in my house.
In your house. So yes, that being all said, thank you all for watching, listen. And Chris, how the hell has life been treating you since we last seen each other? Wink, wink.
You know, I'm thankful to be here, folks. That's all there is to it. Even when you're down, you need to be thankful.
Yeah, because you never know what you're going to see out there or what you're going to witness. Is it true or not? And that'll all make sense. And Chris, I'm going to do everything I can to not ramble on too much because sometimes I tend to do that. I don't share the microphone.
No, buddy, you're fine.
But any other than your week been, I think we're all going through a drag out period, right? You've got the house issue. You're still like.
Maybe it's like an end of the year thing. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe we just want to get this fucking year over.
The weather's teasing us. It got cool, got comfortable. In fact, the other night I was enjoying standing out my patio, talking to a long lost friend. Haven't spoke to in a while. We'll just say his name's Terry, and we'll leave it at that, just to respect his privacy. I was enjoying that weather. Yeah, the weather was gorgeous out last week, and here it was weird last week.
It was.
That's us Ohioans.
I very much enjoyed working in that. It felt great.
Can't win.
It was kind of chilly in the mornings.
I had the AC off.
I kind of had to grab a little coat a couple days.
I still got a lot of layers to protect my fat ass. So that's the one advantage about having layers.
Come on, don't do that.
It's true.
Oh, God.
But then again, when I was skinny as hell, I would be stubborn. I ain't putting no fucking jacket on. I'm a tough boy.
Yeah, I got balls.
I used to do that in Minster.
Balls.
Yep. When it was cold up there on an October 2nd night, I'm just using that as a reference. It always was the first weekend where we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. It would get down to like 42 degrees, and I'm up there wearing a hoodie with shorts on, drinking a beer, and people are like, you look like you're cold. I'm like, no, I just got to pee. But I was freezing.
My balls are super hairy. I'm good.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Manscape, motherfucker.
Yeah, where you at?
Do either one of you, Andrew or Chris, do you ever get that not so fresh feeling?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, thanks to our new sponsors, Mass and Gilbert. Yes. Mass and Gilbert. It sounds a lot like a Mass and Gil, but it's from Mass and Gilbert. Basically, they will leave you feeling, fresh and clean. Yes, they're dedicated to basically effective formula that cleanses you with some irritations down there. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a comfort, glide strip with the flexible neck bottle. It's comfortable and easy to use. Mass and Gilbert. Freshness made simple.
I don't know where we went.
Only available at Bubba.
I see all these other weak ass, or listen to these other weak ass podcasts out there when they talk about flowers and Yodas and shit. We're out here talking about manly stuff, you know, and Heineken got that off my chest last week. But my balls have been itching, Manscaped.
Ready to fucking shave mine.
Yeah, and wash them too.
So, we need the whole accompaniment. We need the fucking the leather satchel. We need the fucking the deodorant. We need the ball cream. We need the entire thing. Where you at? I'm trying to lotion my balls over here, and you're fucking me up.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Manscaped. It's not just made for women and bitches. Trying to find a good slogan for you there. Manscaped.
Boats and hoes.
Boats and hoes. Get your shit together. Manscape it.
Bitches.
Yeah. And I hate unicorns. Okay.
Wait.
Let's see. We got that off of our chest. Manscaping. What else do we? Oh God. You know what? I talked about some more. I'm sorry.
What did unicorns do to you?
I don't want to get into it.
Oh fuck.
You think of Manscaping unicorns. And it's just a drastic story. It's personal, and I don't want to talk about it. Just imagine your worst nightmares with the unicorns and Manscaped, or not having Manscaped. Wink, wink.com. So, movies. Oh, you know what? I know you've got something special about horror movies. I know Chris has got something he's just itching to talk about, and he's going to get into that next episode, right? Or do you want to do it now?
This was, to me, I mean, if we're talking about it, no, let's save that. We're doing something
still
else,
teasing
right?
it. We're teasing it.
No, well,
Passenger.
I don't know.
Passenger.
You want to get into it?
I say we tease it still.
This is the. I mean, you said horror, but
yeah,
this is kind of like an elevated horror.
Can I ask you a question real quick? It just popped into my mind.
Yes, please.
And you could answer it in the next episode.
All right.
If you like. Okay, I'm thinking of the class. I know they did a remake of it, but in the 80s, they had a great movie called The Hitchhiker, or was it The Hitcher?
I think it was The Hitcher.
The Hitcher.
Because they redid that in like 2013, I think.
Yes, it was The Hitcher. Sorry. Does this Passenger, is it anything, or am I completely off?
Way off.
Okay. Ooh. See, the first time I watched that trailer, I started thinking, and that's great news because it's not a reboot of The Hitcher. Ooh, I'm liking this. Oh, cool.
Way off.
So, by the way, folks,
and by the way, let's just go ahead and get this over with. Let's just talk about it because
might as well.
It's so God. You know when you watch a movie and you replay it through your head for days on end.
Oh yeah, I've talked about a director, Quentin Tarantino films. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Okay, I know what you're saying.
Oh, 100%. And as I was saying, yes, it's a Blumhouse affair, but this is like an elevated. I mean, I was even wrong when I said this movie reminds me of like a Fight Club movie. Oh,
so wow,
I was wrong.
This is good already. I'm liking this already because because trailers, we've talked about this. Trailers have, especially with Blumhouse, with horror films, they have a tendency of giving us way too much information.
It's almost like they kind of gave us a curveball.
Maybe they should stick to what they're doing to what you're about to explain, because I would imagine there's going to be spoilers here, right? I haven't seen the film.
I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I'm going to try to stick away from that. I'm just going to tell you that it's worth your viewing. Kyle Gallner. I don't know if you recognize him from any of his previous work. He was in I'm
just getting on my phone right now looking Passenger up, right?
Yeah. He was in Nightmare on Elm Street.
I better put Passenger in the movie because
he's
trying
to
give you the definition
for that, and I believe he was in Smile as well. Kyle Gallner, man, he put that movie like he was getting ready for school. He fucking put that movie into his backpack, and he fucking strapped that movie on his back, and he carried that entire movie. He is so fucking. I mean, the focal point in that whole movie is just. I love dangerous characters, and he is just one of those characters. His name's Benson in the movie. That's his character name. The whole movie boils down to just how our past experiences shape us as humans and shape our experiences going forward, how we interact, how we treat people. It's just such a heavy and emotional, it's so much more heavy and emotional than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a fight club, like a split personality. Fucking this guy, I forget the other guy's name. He's kind of a smaller, wimpier guy. He doesn't stand up for himself. He had a past experience, and really there's two ways you can come out of past experiences like that, traumatic past experiences. You can take the route where you're aggressive and you're kind of the more manly, I guess, approach to where you don't let people fuck with you. And then some people take the introvert route and they they internalize everything. They do everything they can to avoid conflict and problems, and they essentially get, just fucked over by everybody. So kind of what we go into is Benson and this other character. Benson sees himself in this character so often for how he gets pushed around and shoved around, and that eventually just pisses Benson off to the point where he feels like he has to act and he has to make the serious decision that he makes in the movie, which sends them on kind of a little road trip of sorts. And an interesting take on it is Benson, he pretty much has forgotten all about his wants and his needs in this little road trip here. And he just kind of says, there's something inside you is fixable. That's the only thing I believed in that moment when I was about to kill you. If I mean, we're kind of going into spoilers. I can't help it. But anyways, he kind of takes this road trip and this day into his own hands to the point where he wants to kind of wake up this other character and make him start standing up for himself and change his life and get over the trauma that he's experienced when he was younger, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I'm just looking over, like the DM, sorry.
I mean,
and yeah, great psychological. I mean, it's even listed as a horror film.
I mean, it's restrained horror, I guess.
A man forced to face his fears and confronted his troubled past. He must find a way to survive when his coworker snaps and goes on a violent killing spree.
How you have these two characters which had the same kind of beginnings, but they took opposite paths. And how they just kind of even each other out. Yeah,
somebody even wrote it in a review. It's a great psychological thriller.
It is.
Yeah, the movie is it's mischaracterized as a horror. It's definitely more of a suspense psychological drama, which generally I would say for most viewing audiences out there, when your mood strikes, those are some of the best movies. Okay, psychological. I know so many people love Breaking Bad. Mm-hmm. I don't want to compare it to Breaking Bad, but am I on the right track there? It's got that psychological, because Breaking Bad was a series, of course, but apples and oranges still.
Man, it's
just a different story completely.
If you're talking about like from
suspense,
a cerebral, from a cerebral point of view, where you have to, kind of dive inside these characters and try to put yourself in their shoes and how they're viewing the point of view.
Yeah, I was going to say El Camino, which I like that. Okay, never mind.
If you're talking from that point of view, yes.
Okay.
Breaking Bad, yes, that works.
Wouldn't it be so lazy just to obsess over Breaking Bad all the time? Sorry. Sorry. When we're talking about this movie being a psychological thriller, my mind went to Breaking Bad, not seeing, of course, The Passenger yet.
I swear, this Kyle Gallner, man, he is going to be something.
Yeah, award-winning performance by Gallner. It says here, can't stress enough how much Gallner's presence carries over all the average, and then it stops there.
It's fucking amazing, man.
Released August 4th of 2023 here in the United States. It was filming location in New Orleans, a Blumhouse production. Runtime, 1 hour and 30 minutes. Hey, it's almost as long as our podcast.
But man, if I could just stress this movie, it's so important to today's society. I think it's something that everybody needs to see. Being an introvert myself, and the things that all the conversations I've had to have in my head to get myself out of bad rock bottom situations, and just when I didn't like anything in life. Like, he kind of is that for him, and he just pulls him out of this just rock bottom place that he's in, where he just lets everyone walk all over him. Like, he doesn't want to make any decisions for himself, because he feels like if he makes a decision for himself that he will hurt people and get in the way of people's happiness. So he lets people do whatever the hell they want to him, this other character. And Benson finally just snaps. He's had enough of it. He decides to stand up to all of it. It's just so... I mean, we've talked about it a few times about mental health, especially of men, and how we want to be like kind of this... we'd like to talk to people that are having tough times, people that need to talk or have a safe atmosphere. I feel like it's such an important movie where they could watch, and I mean, the violence aspect aside, taking action and speaking up for yourself is important. Don't let people walk all over you.
So Chris and I have projects, which is going to be so difficult for me. I'm going to have to catch this film. My gut tells me I'm going to enjoy it just from what you're describing, and not knowing what I was wanting to walk into. And I don't think I'm getting any spoilers here. So that's great. And so I'd like to watch that myself. And I've been wanting Chris to watch a movie that was made back in the 80s. My gut tells me you would love talk radio.
Yes. I remember talking about this.
I think your mom would love it too. Natalie would love it. It's just a great, in fact, even back when it was released, like The Passenger, and I don't want to sound disrespectful towards this film, something tells me that The Passenger may be one of the sleepers, and I think I've said that before. And if I'm wrong, well, my heart will be broken. Good for them. Well, kudos. People are watching it.
You're not. It didn't even go to theater. It was straight to Apple TV release.
Well, hell. Are we talking Apple TV Plus or iTunes?
I bought it on iTunes. Okay.
Because I know they don't call it iTunes anymore, but I'm just trying to, for simpletons like myself, trying to break that, because I do a lot of, the iTunes or buy movies, streaming it from Apple. But Apple Plus, I love Apple Plus. They got some of the best television series and movies that are released through there. It's almost like, okay, they've got productions with original concepts, original stories. Mm-hmm. It's just... I mean, I haven't mentioned it in a while, but I still think one of the best television series comedies in recent years was Ted Lasso. Yeah. And you don't have to be a soccer fan. That show was amazing. 3 series, and it's just, I could see why we still don't know if Jason Sudeikis, I'm butchering his last name, I know I am. Sudeikis, it doesn't matter, I'm butchering it.
I know who you're talking about.
Meet the Millers, He was on Saturday Night Live. He was one of the head writers for this, and it was just a phenomenal series. And it won so many awards. I mean, you don't have to have awards to be approved of, but it was one of the best series I have seen in ages, comedy-wise. And it wasn't just about comedy. Ted Lasso's character dealt with mental. He had anxiety issues at times. I mean, his character was about. He'd give out some of the best advice. He was a great mentor in this movie, but privately, he was dealing with he moved away from his wife and his child, but he thought this was the best thing for him and his wife and his child. You'd have to watch. There's so many people that watched it, and here I'm going on Ted Lasso because of Apple Plus, and we're talking about The Passenger. That's me. I'm guilty at that shit.
That's all right.
But I want to see this movie, The Passenger. It does. I know you've been. Did you and your mom? Let's get back to that.
Oh yeah.
How was she when you said, okay, I finally watched it? I would have liked to have been a spider in that room with that conversation.
She's so kind of the opposite of me. She's such a kind of a bright light. She's just a, an uplifting person. She tries to be. And I'm just not that. I'm just more the quiet, just introverted.
Not here.
But yeah, this is an outlet for me. 9 times out of 10, if you see me during
hot pockets,
if you see me during the week, I'm not this guy, just a quiet guy. But yeah, I mean, her contention on it was kind of like, what'd you think of that? That was crazy. And at that point, I wanted to be like, do I tell her the truth? Or do I tell her what kind of a son she has, and that really spoke to me, and spoke to me on so many levels that, it made sense to me. Because it was like, where do you go from there,
I think you're in a safe space to tell her the truth. I mean, I don't know the answer yet, but something tells me from having some experience in this. Am I wrong or right? Did you tell her?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course I did. I mean, I went the honest route, but she just wasn't, I don't know if she was expecting me to go there with it. Just being I don't know how to put that.
Well, that's the great thing. Chris and you and I've talked about it. You've expressed how music is a very important aspect of your life, and your mother as well. We don't really talk about that in movies because movies, let's face it, whether it's fictional or not, I think the majority of movies that we watch are fictional compared to nonfiction.
They are.
The movies can be inspiring, and they can also touch you in a way that, like The Passenger, you've been wanting to watch. There's something about it that just, you felt you had to watch this.
Well, as soon as I saw that trailer, I was hooked. I pre-ordered it immediately. I was ready. But I was under the false pretense. I mean, I could have sworn it was going in the Fight Club direction. And here I am. I mean, it was a complete...
That's good, though.
Complete different outcome, but I'm still enthralled. It's in my top 5 for the year.
Good. And that's, in all honesty, top 5s in 2023 for films for me.
It's low, right?
It's very low. So Passenger, even though I haven't seen it, and I'm not just saying it because, this is something I wouldn't be surprised if that'd be in my top 5. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, well, now that I think about a film that I watched on Netflix, that I really enjoyed. This is so easy. A Tom Hanks film, right? Otto. That was really good.
Was it? I haven't seen it yet.
I mean, it was released. I should say it was released before it was on Netflix. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I liked it. It's, yes, Tom Hanks is in it, but Tom Hanks doesn't play your typical Forrest Gump. He doesn't play the, castaway, your hero type. Let me take that back. He's still lovable. It was a good movie. And I'm not one of Spencer on Apple Plus with Justin Timberlake. I don't know if you've watched that yet, Chris. It's a damn good film.
Is that the one where he was like a janitor?
Well, yes. He finally gets a job as a custodian.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched that as soon as it came out. I'm actually a Timberlake fan. I do.
I love his. I think a lot of people could say this too. He should have done more Saturday Night Live. He's just a natural comedian.
Is what he should do.
Yeah, Ellie. Let's face it. Okay, I'm gonna flat out say this. In the early 2000s, you could still hear a song of his. I can't think of the name of it. As soon as I hear it, I know it. And this is stupid, right?
Give me a couple words.
I can't.
I guarantee it's on Future Sex Love Sounds.
It's a song that it's been played over 20 years now.
Yep.
This has got to be it.
Oh, geez. Is that Rock Your Body or whatever?
Yeah, that's got to be his biggest song of all times. Because you still hear it today. And the thing of it is, if I hear it, I'm not annoyed by it. We already went through our top 5 things that annoy the shit out of us. But if I hear it, I'm like, I think it's because it's more of a personal memory of someone that I remember as a teenager. And he used to, this is just, I'm going down a rabbit hole through a memory. And I just think of somebody who I knew as a kid, and he would just he'd sing that song. He'd give that, and I just, it's just, you know what I mean? It's somebody who I miss, somebody I haven't seen in ages. And I can remember when he was a kid playing baseball. And it was a big song back then.
Oh, yeah.
But I know, I'm not speaking out of my ass. I mean, you got to admit, that's probably his biggest song of all times.
It's probably one of them.
Yeah.
Man, I mean.
Top 40, songs.
I've seen dude in concert twice. I like
I'm too cool to see Justin in concert.
I do appreciate it. I can appreciate it. At that time, I was going through a crazy breakup, and that Cry Me a River song came out.
Yeah, Cry Me a fucking River.
Yeah. So I maybe a guilty pleasure. I don't know, but
I'm one of those
I do like some JT.
I'm one of those tough bastards, the X generation where we don't take that toleration of whiny shit. That's my excuse.
I shave my balls and I listen to Justin Timberlake. There it is.
Here's the thing. I've tried to build a little version of we're the tough mullet motherfuckers that are bald now, that are fat. But while we're alone, we're not around our buddies, we're listening to Justin Timberlake. I'm just goofing. Justin Timberlake, him as a person as a whole, he's somebody who I think we'd have a blast here hanging out down in the man cave. You could just tell he is a fun person to hang out with. To me, that's it. It's a sense of humor. It's the personality that sells me more than anything.
Right.
Because I need a lot of laughs right now. Because I'm getting older, folks, and I'm getting closer to being dust in the wind. So all the laughs I can get is awesome, because that's what makes you rich in life is laughter.
The only dust in the wind is our farts.
Especially as you get older.
You better cut it out.
Yes, but back to The Passenger. Damn it. Mm-hmm. What would you give it out of that as I butchered it? What would your star rating be out of a 10? Not of top. No, we do top fives. 1 being the weakest, 5 being the highest. What would be your star rating?
I was thinking about this, and I was thinking if we would ever get to this point, we need a rating scale, right? If we're going to rate movies, we need a rating scale. You know how Drum Dums has like a Trapped on an Island or a Purchase Worthy or this, that, and the other. We need to come up with our own scale.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No?
Maybe I do. I don't. It's
just his little clever way of how he rates movies, and he'll put a tag on it. Trapped on an Island is him being on an island. If he only had certain movies to watch, he would take this movie with him. Yeah.
I know my mind somewhere else because I was thinking of Dum Dum Lollipops when you said that.
That's Lee from Drum Dums.
I'm not very well cooperating in this. I'm just trying. In all honesty, I'm.
And you know what? It's 2 weeks later. We can't blame it on the shots anymore.
Yeah, that's it.
Don't break the fourth wall.
Oops. I warned you. earlier. But you know what? Chris is wanting to.
We're having fun.
You're wanting to get more involved with certain things. So help me out here. Yes. Educate me on the. Okay, I'm gonna pretend like an action. I didn't know what you were saying earlier. Drum Dums.
Drum Dums.
Okay. Drum Dums.
His name's Lee. He's a YouTuber. He uses like a scale. He says Trapped on an Island for like movies that he would take if he were just, trapped on an island and he couldn't watch anything else. That's all he could watch. That's his top rating.
That makes sense. Okay.
And then he'll do things like that. I guess we need a rating like that for me.
That makes a lot of sense.
We need to come up with some. Other than like top 5. Stuck
movies that if you had to go down in a man cave, think of Shaun of the Dead when you go to the pub.
Okay.
You got to relate it to being in the man cave. And you got to bring what you're going there, the movies that you can only watch for the rest of your life down in the man cave.
Does the that movies make sense? You'd only want. Okay, so we're talking like we'll say you have Hurricane, which is like level 3. You have level 4, which is
Oh shit! Right. We don't get a lot of hurricanes here in Ohio. So.
Biden economy. We'll say. And then we'll have level 5, which level 5 is the zombie apocalypse. Now, what would 2 and 1 be?
Which one's worse, though?
One would be gas prices, right?
Yeah.
And 2 would be dry county. We're stuck in a dry county, can't get any beer. Is that a appropriate rating scale?
God, these are all like fucking shitty. I'm going to try to, thank God I'm the editor here because I could really focus on it more when I'm not. This is okay. I'll play along.
Okay. So absolutely 100% zombie apocalypse for me. You already lost our rating.
Yeah. So I'm thinking zombie's the worst, right?
Yes. Level 5.
So the passenger's the worst?
No, I thought level 5 would be the highest.
Oh, okay. Yeah. High.
Yeah, like level 1's
5
like
stars. Sorry.
Yeah, level 1's like a oh, this sucks, but I could, if I wanted to pay gas prices, I could go to the movies, I guess.
Okay. But
what would we leave the man cave for, I guess?
Yeah.
We're stuck in the man cave. What would be the worst outcome? That's a zombie apocalypse for me.
These are all learning curves, and it'll be fun, and it'll be original. Yes. So, zombie, stuck in apocalypse, the passenger down. Okay. Yes. Folks, trust me. It'll all make sense.
We'll work it out. We did all this on the fly.
Because right now, all of them, God, fuck, man, they involve me thinking, and I'm not good at that.
It's a top 5 of the year for me. It's cerebral. It's a whole lot of thought. It's you placing yourselves inside the characters you're watching. It's interactive. It's involving. It does so many things. And Kyle Gallner just puts it right over the fucking top. He's so great. I loved it.
I know exactly when I'm going to watch this film. And I'm not going to get into it for 2 reasons. A, it's too much whining, and there's no whining allowed down in the man cave. I just think that's a good rule, right? No whining allowed down unless we have a wine episode, which I might do. Chris can watch me drink it. I don't know how he feels about wine. I like Rieslings, but what I'm trying to get at is when things are starting to improve for me a little bit, when I'm getting some good news going in the right direction, I think that will be the right time for me to watch The Passenger. Because for me, when the wheels are spinning up here and there's no hamsters operating the wheel, if you know what I mean, that means I'm thinking way too much and I go off subject. I want to give The Passenger its fair chance.
I get that. But if I could say anything, is that this movie kind of emboldens you just to not put up with the bullshit that life hands you.
That's why we hang out in the man cave. So this movie's perfect already. We're gonna have to get a poster for it.
I want to get everything possible for it. I'm in love with it right now. Maybe I'm completely in the honeymoon stage. I don't know. I've watched it 3 times so far, and I've loved it every single time. And I keep picking out little new nuances and little sections of Kyle's work that just.
I already see a future Christmas present for Chris.
Oh my God.
I'm seeing a future Christmas present for Chris right now. It's like if he doesn't get the talk radio by then, it's like I'm thinking of this movie and all that. Anyways, no, I know me better than anybody else because I'm beginning to think I don't know my son anymore. That was too much said because he's getting taller.
My girls are getting taller too. I hate that shit, man. They're growing up.
Is there a perfect food that can get the... No. I get it. I want Zach to stop being... it freaks me out that he's going to be 28 October 4th. 28 years old.
I feel like 10. They just stop stop growing after 10.
They need to get, well, mine will always be a passenger. See, folks, this is what happens. So all you listeners out there that don't have kids yet, this is what you go through. This is why you have man caves. You love your kids, but sometimes you need to get down there to not get away, but reflect on, oh shit, what's happening? And this is, I'm going to say this. I got to say it. As a parent, you always feel like, Chris, help me along here. What the fuck am I doing? Am I good enough? Am I doing my job right? And not that it's a job, but am I doing this right here?
You know what I realized when I was little?
He's going to prove me wrong.
No, you know, what I realized when I was little is that adults are just grown-up kids. We're just grown-up kids. Nobody has it all figured out. And the only people that have it figured out have learned how to lie about it. They've learned how to lie about their entire life. Nobody has everything figured out, and we're all just getting through the same shit. We're all just on this little rock that's floating through fucking a void of space in the vacuum of the universe, and we're spinning around a nuclear reactor. How fucking crazy is that when you break it down?
It's all flat.
Well, I don't believe that, but
I was watching the series on sorry.
None of us have it figured out, man.
No, I was thinking of Space Force on Netflix. It's a comedy. It's a series. I hope it continues. And some goofy characters went to the moon and they get to the whole flat. But it's flat. Well, no, it's not flat. You know, scientists is like, well, it's round. That's what they said. Like, well, a pizza's round and it's flat. Sorry.
You got to stop apologizing. Don't apologize.
No, I just know that I'm thinking about everything right now as I look through things, and I just want to get to. Is there anything else that you would like to add about this movie, The Passenger? Any other recommendations? Any suggestions? Where can you find The Passenger?
It's definitely on Apple TV. It is on iTunes, of course. That's what I mean when I say Apple TV, because as soon as you buy it from iTunes, it goes straight to your Apple TV. So that's what, when I say that, that's what I'm meaning when you buy it on there.
I'm sure it's available on Amazon as well with all these streaming, you know.
I haven't checked, but I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Probably
like our podcast. If you're listening to it on Amazon, chances are it's available, which it is. It's available on Apple. It's available on Spotify. The Passenger, I'm sure, is available through Amazon, Apple. The list goes on and on and on. If you are like Chris and I, if you appreciate good films, a suspense, a thriller, something original, like you said, he thought it was going to be something like The Fight Club. Hell, I thought The Hitcher. No, it's got, as Chris, I would ask a stupid question. Original concepts as you're watching it, correct?
To me, this is, I mean, I've only seen it touched on in a couple areas with like mental health. Never put into a thriller / horror like vehicle and driven around. Never placed into that category. So for me, it's 100% original. It's so phenomenal. It's just, for performances alone, please go watch it. And then if you don't get the undertones there, go back and watch it a second time and put yourself in the shoes of the characters. So worth it.
There you go. Go check it out. The Passenger. Anybody, they're even catching on this for the first time, they can relate to it, because I think a lot of people are getting tired of being ripped off from a lot of films that we see this day and age, and everything that you described. This is one of those. That's one of the good ones. It's an intelligent film for an intelligent viewer.
So good.
Yeah. Anything else, Chris, before I hit that fucking button? Oh man, that's his line.
No, do it. We own that together. I'd love to hear you say that.
I just like tickling it, just like this. Chris and I want to thank you for listening or watching Meet Us in the Man Cave. Since you enjoyed watching us, make sure you want to tell all your friends about us, subscribe today, and click on that notification bell. It's going to be helping you being reminded when our next episode is uploaded or even possibly a live stream video. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course, YouTube. You can listen or download to Meet Us in the Man Cave on your favorite podcasting app, available to stream or download so you can listen to us all you want, whenever you want. For more information, go to meetusinthemancave.podbean.com.